Welcome everyone. Today is April 25th and we are with Reyes Supply Company, and today I have with me the two owners, Ida Campbell and Crystal Campbell. How are the two of you today?
Doing great.
Good.
Happy to have you here.
I'm better now that I'm here with you. So I want to start out first of all, I want to let you know that today is all about you telling me your story about your company. And so today, first of all, we're thankful that you have allowed us in your company to share time and basically get an opportunity to promote your business profile. So I will start off by asking you, Ida, when did you decide to start this business?
Well, I started it in 1991, July 19, 1991, 25 years ago.
Wow. All right. And was there anything that was a motivating factor that helped you to start this business?
Well, yes. Since I was very little, I knew that I will have a business of a sort. Obviously, I didn't know I would end up in the electrical industry, but that's something that I thought that I would do. But it really happened when I didn't have a job and I was looking, applying, and the frustration of not finding anything led me to make the decision of starting the business.
Okay. Now, sometimes different cultures can be motivated because this is something that they have done all of their lives. Were your parents or grandparents ever business owners?
Yes, and you are so true about that. I am from the Dominican Republic,
okay.
And there it seems like a majority of people are self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
Anything from selling something in the street, whether if it's some pastry or somebody having a little store on the side of their house. Just about anything can make somebody an entrepreneur. Okay. And my grandmother used to make clothing for living, mm-hmm. and had a store which she sold accessories like little jewelries and stuff like that, and she would custom make dresses for them. And then also my father made furniture. That's what he did for a living. Okay. So that is my background. I guess
You've always been
fall into that and play business since I was a little girl.
Okay, all right.
With my siblings.
Okay. Crystal, this question will be directed towards you. How would you describe Reyes Supply Company?
Well, Reyes Supply Company is a full-line electrical distributor.
Okay.
We serve the triad here at our office and warehouse. It's 9,200 square feet.
Okay.
We house roughly $400,000 worth of inventory from around 200 vendors, both local to the state as well as national brands. We do new construction as well as renovations for both public and private sector electricians.
Awesome. All right, so then Ida, I'm going to direct this question to you. Why electrical supply or the supply chain business, period?
Well, as I said earlier, when I decided to go into business, I went to the city of Greensboro. At that time, they have started the Certified Minority Program.
Okay.
And I went there because I figured with the, really no capital and just an idea in my head, I wanted to go over there and see, explore a little bit and see what they had to offer to newcomers, new business comers. Mm-hmm. And so as I was there, they helped me a lot. And something dawned on me. I actually was going to try to go into selling office supplies.
Okay.
That was the idea.
Yeah.
And so I said office supply would be good because at that time we didn't have all the, right now, it's only have gone to one big company. Mm-hmm. But before it was not like that. It was local businesses and through catalog and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so Before I left, I told them to, if they had a list of all the businesses that they have certified already, and when they passed the list, I noticed that it was already too many people doing office supplies.
Gotcha.
So I said, I need to go into something else. When I was looking at all the commodity, I realized that it was only 2 listed for electrical. And
pretty
having
smart.
a little bit of an electrical background from where I worked before,
Mhm.
then that's how I decided to go into this business.
Okay. That's an interesting story. Not only is it interesting, but it's pretty smart that you decided you wanted to be, and I use this term loosely, but a loan shark, where you didn't want to swim amongst a number of sharks, but you wanted to swim just amongst a few. And this allowed you to perform and get your name and your brand out there.
That is right. And then also because I thought of profitabilities, if it already was a lot of other people doing it, then what was really the point? From the beginning, it was going to be a hard struggle.
Mhm. So here we are, 26 years later.
25, almost
All right,
25.
so almost 26 years. And how has the business evolved since you started the company?
Well, we have had many challenges. We encountered a first problem with the, financing.
Mhm.
It took us a couple years to get the proper loan.
Yes.
It was like secured by the SBA, a Small Business
Yes.
Administration loan.
Yes.
I had family members that loaned me money to get me going until I was in business for almost 2 years because they needed to see the stability of the business before I could get those funds.
Banks.
But the business little by little grew from starting it. I started receiving a couple of projects. One of them was, this is obviously 25 years ago, the Roanoke Memorial Hospital. It was a hospital in Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay.
And that contract, we received that contract, and that alone was $500,000 contract in sales, not profit.
Mhm.
But with the profit margin that I had in there, that actually guaranteed all the expenses being covered for a whole year.
Yes. Oh,
So
wow.
that right there was a good starting off project, and from there on it just continued on.
Okay.
We stay small. 25 years later, we're still a small company, but it's profitable, and I don't really have anything to complain about.
Okay. So, Crystal, I'm going to direct this question to you. You've already kind of briefly described what your client looks like. Your mom just mentioned the hospital.
Mhm.
And give us a little more insight on why you feel the space that you're playing in is good for your company in terms of the clientele that you deal with.
Yeah, well, being located centrally in Greensboro, we're able to cater to, just a basic homeowner that's doing home improvements themselves, as well as your neighborhood electrician that, you see advertised in commercials, or that might be doing maintenance on a local restaurant. But we also have the connections and the space to be able to do bigger projects with multi-million-dollar electrical contractors, where we can do all of the ordering here in our office and have the material drop shipped to the job site, whether that's here in Greensboro or in Research Triangle Park or South Carolina. Really, we could expand across the entire country if we really wanted to.
Okay. So part B to this question would be, now that everything has gone digital and social media, this and that, tell us how you are adapting to that world, because even in the world that I'm in, I've always said people do business with people, but there's still that and you can probably direct me more on this, but there's still that 2 to 5% of the environment that is still saying, hey, let's look at what they have to offer electronically.
Yeah.
Tell me how you've adapted to that.
Well, I don't want to say that we're behind the times, but working in an environment that's predominantly commercial
Right.
electrical material and lighting, most of the things that we do are just straight shipments, or you pick up here face-to-face in our warehouse.
Okay.
I think that if we had been more in a residential, decorative, lighting kind of atmosphere, we would have a lot of room to have a website where people can, scroll through, look at our inventory. But being raw material, it's very much a face-to-face and over email as well type of scenario where we're either doing customer service with our bigger projects, or we have our counter guy that's doing face-to-face service with the everyday customer that comes in.
Okay.
But that's not to say that there's not room in the future to move to Facebook or move to having a website where we sell, some of our products.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's talk about, and this is for the business owners out there who probably have 5 to 10 years under their belt, and they're getting tired, but they know that this is what they know. This industry is what they know, and they may want to leave a future for their heirs of somehow. And we know that sometimes your heirs don't always want to take on the same dreams that you had, but yet and still, Crystal kind of grew up like you, always around the business. Grew up in, this is like her second family, if you will.
Oh, absolutely.
And we can get to that later. But talk to us about how you're trying to transition Reyes Supply Company into the future.
Well, as far as, being 25 years in business, transition as far as continuing on, that is something that I'm striving for. Continue growing the business, perhaps add new things to it, but at this time I'm not thinking in any way of like slowing down or selling the business or doing anything like that. I think I still have many more years. I enjoy what I do.
Okay.
It's part of my life. I don't know, I even think about work the few times I go on vacation, so it's something that is just such a part of me. But definitely just continue to improve and have new ideas. Still have some challenges, some accounts that I would like to have. And when I say accounts, I'm talking about in regards to vendors.
Yes.
Establishing accounts with bigger equipment. Company, we need to get a gear line, which is the breakers and the distribution, electrical distribution. What we have right now is like a secondary line. It's very difficult to get one. It's something that I'm really looking for, and I sure hope that now passing on my 25 years is maybe it will become easier for us to obtain.
Okay, so let's stay on that line. So there are companies out there, and I mentioned this earlier, there's companies out there that have, been at their industry or their craft for, 10, 15 years, and they know that there is a particular client or vendor that would take them over the top. Just like you, what would you need to do to prepare for something like that in the event that it happened?
Well, prepared I am. I've been prepared for 25 years.
Oh.
What I need is just the opportunity.
Okay.
It's not an issue on finance. A lot of people will say, well, maybe something so big that the funds are not there. It don't have anything to do with finance. It mostly have to do with politics. It's like, the old say, the big fish eat the little fish.
Yes.
And so even though I'm very proud of what I'm doing, I'm still a small fish. And there are companies out there that you have to realize, I don't want to name any naming specific, but for example, it's one that have over 250 different branches across the country. Remember, I am just one company here. And if they pull their string, this particular line that I'm talking about, there are only like 4 different lines. And they're major distributor, because that's what we are, a wholesale electrical distributor.
Right.
They are major distributors up there that already have those lines. And so as far as a threat for competition and being a certified minority company and all of that, you know, they have expressed, we have targeted some of these companies before, you know, trying to get this, one of these 4 major lines. And pretty much he said, you know, it's too much distribution for your area, but a lot of times it also been threats, like if you set that company up, how about, you know, because they can go and have this particular company, or one of them can have any of those major 4 lines, they said, how about if we just drop you and we go to these other competitors of yours?
Right.
And so there is a threat there. I mean, I'm not trying to be ugly or anything, but that is a fact. And so that is the reason that it is very difficult to get one of these lines. But the good thing is that you find your little niche in the world.
Okay.
And even though I haven't have that, we are a full line electrical distributor. We don't have the electrical distribution to have the capability of, let's say, service a big hospital or a big prison or big school, but we can small buildings like this one. And those kind of jobs we cover for that particular item. But not having that, it have opened the door to other things, because we do very great in the electrical, in the lighting.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, it's even more profitable than the profits we will bring in from the electrical distribution. So, you know, something not working out here is making something greater over here, and that's what have made us stand and build a name for ourselves.
Okay. So there is something to the old saying, be careful what you ask for, because you just may get it. But there's also something to being comfortable in your space and knowing, you know, how to deliver and deliver well in what you do.
Right.
All right. All right. So, Crystal, what do you see the future of the supply business?
Well, with it being the 25-year anniversary, I hope to be able to, you know, continue to push forward with the same resilience and strength that got us here.
Okay.
That I witnessed my whole life growing up, and to take that into the next 25 years. You know, we want to expand and do more work across North Carolina in general, tap into some cities that we haven't necessarily done work with. But we're also really excited to continue doing work here at home. You know, they recently passed that $2 million bond referendum that's going to hopefully start putting a lot of new construction into the Greensboro area.
Music to your ears.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So it'll be nice to be able to play around in our own backyard again. Because
Okay.
for a long time, you know, we did have to do some of our bigger projects in our, you know, more profitable, growing cities in North Carolina. And
Okay.
it's been sad that Greensboro wasn't one of them, but maybe we'll be a front runner now.
Okay. All right. One last question. What piece of advice would you put out there for the business owner who almost wants to give up?
Not to ever give up. Persistent and patient, and also, I know I say and like 3 times, but you know, self-confidence will take you there. I remember a quote, I don't remember exactly the movie, I think it was either Paul Durham or Field of Dreams. In that movie is a little quote that says, if you build it, they will come. So if you have enough faith in yourself and you work very hard, there is no reason to not to be successful.
Give up on your dreams.
Yes.
Okay. And Crystal, if you could add anything to it, what would you say to the individual who is following in the footsteps of their family? What would you say is an added element that is needed in order for sustainability to take place?
Well, I would say to lose the intimidation factor.
Okay.
Sometimes it is hard to follow in the footsteps of somebody that's already successful,
Yeah.
or somebody that's already had 25 years ahead of you.
Mhm.
But instead of being intimidated, faith in yourself and know that if they've asked you to be there, it's because they have faith in you too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So blaze your own trail.
So blaze your own trail. It might not, you don't have to follow exactly where they went. Just take the tools they gave you and
Keep the
continue to
foundation.
grow.
if you will.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, here it is. We just summarized 25 years of experience from Reyes Supply Company, and we definitely look for big things, and the Greensboro community needs you. So thank you for allowing me into your company in time and space. If they wanted to, if there were businesses out there that wanted to get in touch with you, what would you say some of the few ways to do that?
Well, you can reach us here at our office. We do have the full warehouse, like I said before. We're located at 832 Huffman Street. And that's off of Bessemer and Sullivan Street, in between the two. Our telephone number is 336-370-4292. And you can reach either one of us by email. My email address is ccampbell@reyessupply.net.
And mine is Reyes@ReyesSupply.net.
Well, thank you very much again, and that is a wrap.
Thank
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.